We also recently commissioned a new catheterization lab at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in order to provide specialized cardiothoracic care. Several other improvements are going to take place to expand the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Greater Accra is also driving Ghana's digital transformation. The greatest number of the 1 million coders program has been here in the Greater Accra region. Out of 91,000 applications that were received nationwide within 48 hours. The Accra Digital Center has also facilitated almost 600 new jobs in data analytics, telecommunications, and related services. I'm also happy to announce the redevelopment of the International Trade Fair Center. A new convention and conference center is going to be built on the Trade Fair Center. Also, significant developments are taking place at the Accra International Airport, which is the gateway to Ghana. A new car park at Terminal 3 with a hotel on top of it is going to be built in order to make the traveling experience even better. Nime Name, I recognize your comments on security of chiefs and traditional authorities. Government shares your concerns regarding the security and protection of chiefs and traditional authorities. The safety of traditional leaders is of paramount importance as they remain key partners in governance, peace building, and community development. And so government will continue to work closely with the security agencies to strengthen measures aimed at protecting chiefs and maintaining peace and stability within our communities. The effective administration of traditional justice is critical to preserving confidence in the chieftaincy institution and maintaining public trust. Government therefore recognizes the need to strengthen the operational capacity of the judicial committees through improved institutional, financial, and logistic supports. I urge all parties involved in chieftaincy disputes to continue to exercise restraint, uphold due process, and prioritize peace and reconciliation.
Abusia, Yabako Emrashe Bejefie na Chiame Hene Meche Right Honorable Alban Smhana Kingsford Bagbin Edi Atuja ama sabre de wotonkra edi ama Emrashe Ebejafo ne se wo kai wo mo ese sirens se ube use sirens ananso se ube use police escort no ye nya ne sa keke se obeka se Emrashe Bedwani nti ene da se abra wa ma okra so na ne o de sirens yi bi abobo ka ho na ne hwe e wo krom sa anya sa nso ene na police escort na wo mo edi na chi ba bi obeko bia no eno nyina no ense na se bi emfata nso na ekoba ne sa no aya na yetoto bambo ase wo mai Ghana mu ne sa yenti no wo kire se swafo ohye omai mu bambo ensem inferior minister wono ene wo ho kwan esese mpo no ko siren ni bi ewo bibinti ana social police escort no a bomodi ansa wo beko akwadan no wono ena the right person wo se wotumi ema kwan se wo betumi eyusu sa neema no na mpo no wono eni ho no mu a wodi nachi eja police sa he me kire the inspector general of police enti safo no emienu no wo mo MB ena wo ho kwan se wo mutumi ma kwan na sa neema mienu amabobo suwe no wo ye MP a wotumi eyusu bi na se wanya ne sa de a na chese wafomra afenso no emra no ananse se abambo ho nsem no na chese wo toto na se na enti no ode benka ne se wone ena wode ama MPs no se wo mbehwe iye e wo sa neema no.
No person is to utilize police resources, particularly police escort services, without the requisite written authorization of the Minister for the Interior or the Inspector General of Police acting on behalf of the Minister. The communication further indicates that the Ghana Police Service has been directed to enforce the directive, including the removal and seizure of unauthorized sirens, the discontinuance of unauthorized police escort services, and the institution of appropriate legal action where necessary. Honorable members, the efficient, accountable, and lawful utilization of public resources is a matter of legitimate national interest. Accordingly, I encourage all members to take note of the contents of the directive and to ensure that in the use of police resources, police escort services, and sirens, members act at all times in accordance with the Constitution, the laws of Ghana, and all lawful administrative requirements. I encourage honorable members who may require clarification regarding the application of the directive in particular circumstances to seek the appropriate guidance through the established institutional channels for compliance in accordance with law. Honorable members, the Office of the Speaker will continue to engage constructively with the Executive, the Ghana Police Service, and all relevant state institutions on matters affecting security operations, the privileges of members of Parliament, and the independence of Parliament, always with a view to strengthening our democratic institutions and advancing the public interest.
Parliament akwa setna age atum ama sabre de akwanya no abeda ho se aban no ebeji $300 million. Yeah, no international development association credit facility mo ede ehye na entwaswa schools school secondary education transformation for access, relevance, and results for jobs. Na sa project na ehu esika eno na sika no mu kire se emu 257.7 million. Yeah, about 86% no ekọ ede ama secondary school infrastructure deficit is no na enkra no adoso eche classrooms akoba ne sanso so a school dan ne bi kra no obia no enhyada enye papa esa entinera se ho ebehia se wase etumi tutu anamo anaso etumi esiesie sa ne mani nyina na ede eboa emofra no na afentoa so schools ahodo ewo oman Ghana emum ene ekire se wo mu wie nsusu kra no a wo mu ebesi 10 new secondary schools ewo oman mu na ewo various districts no etumi aboa afi no rehabilitation so be cost ama 150 existing schools na upgrades so no oma left e de akwakodu 30 categories enti no se school no yoboa ne bia no ewo categories ya wo mo ebe dane mu ama na akwakogina category B ana se wo bi nso ene so mbe dandane ni na ene so akwakoda category A ani nyina no wo mo kire se be koso e wo mantem baako edu e wo man Ghana mu sanse sa mantem du no wo mo infrastructure ho nsem no enhyeda enye papa kra gabo no e wo mu no esopa na mantem no ebi etise central afi western north, Greater Accra, Volta, Oti, Northern, Upper East, Upper West, Savannah, and Western regions. Nankasano, Ekahu Ebi. Yera Mahama Ayariga, Honorable Majority Leader, Wano, Enasabre, Ocheche, and Semimu, Ewa, the floor of a parliament.
Since I assumed my leadership, I have hardly seen this House process a loan transaction. In fact, this is the first time I'm seeing a loan agreement being brought to this House from the World Bank, from the World Bank, from the World Bank, from the World Bank, from the World Bank.
Leader, thank you.
Mr. Speaker, this is the first time I'm seeing a loan from the World Bank. Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that this government has been very, very disciplined. Schools are running very well without these loans. Hospitals are running very well without these loans. Our district assemblies are running very well without these loans. Workers are being well paid without these loans. the electricity has been on without these loans.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, but we are not saying as a government that we will never take a loan. That's not what we're saying.
Thank you. Thank you.
We will take loans. We will take good loans. We will take loans that are not too costly. And when we take the loans, we will put the loans in the right sectors of the economy.
Thank you, leader.
And this is what this loan testifies to. So I thank colleagues for accepting to approve this. I want to assure him that it is not only the minority that will keep an eye on the loans and how the loans are disbursed and the projects that are being executed. The entire House will keep an eye on the projects to ensure that we get value for money. And I can assure you that the Minister for Education will definitely do the right thing, so you don't need to be worried.
Thank you.
You can sleep with all your 2 eyes closed. Unlike in the past when we could not sleep with our 2 eyes closed.
Thank you, leader.
I can assure you that you can sleep with your 2 eyes closed.
Leader, thank you.
Abusia was asemiemu ana dom kuma wo mra hye fie emunu ya kutukum ana ne o mabo aban ne sobo pa o mo kire say $300 million ya mo akwaje ewo World Bank say mo de finance a secondary education transformation for access, relevance and results for jobs project no wo mo kire say free SHS no and as a double track no eno an on pese omugu no eno a eho anamo na wonom etuo no na agu omugu no so nyina no enya hwe o eno an se wo mo entumi manage wo mo aya mba ya fe e ba kunie no ehihye ya bia ni wonom asa brede ye wo mo ede agu akwemu se sa double track no wo mo ehwe aboa na mpo no omo etumi atretene mu ana mo atretere mu eno eho eniema na wonom eye no na the floor of parliament ipo kasa ye e wokokos no oji omonim e kasa ye member of parliament me kire na hyebedwani de ma de hye omo tanon of abato no empesua eso na wono anso esaye deputy ranking member on finance committee in Parliament Dr. Gideon Buako ono na obombodia ejina adom kuma nanim na okasaye na eno etire nso no ranking member on the economy and afe and development committee in Parliament no no anso saye mrahebedwani de ma de hye omo ofuase eyirebi odonyamfo kojo upon enkroma ono nso etire na adwen edefa esansemi eho yenkona enti wo.
All that government will have to do is to cut expenditure. And when government cuts expenditure, or government is unable to use revenue to finance such critical expenditure, government will have to resort to borrowing. In Q1 alone for 2026, government revenue fell short by 4.5%. And by so doing, government had to reduce expenditure by 29%. In 2025 alone, government revenue fell short by 2.2%, government expenditure fell by 13%, and capital expenditure fell by 38.8%. We want to ask the finance minister, the deputy minister is here. What is government doing? Why are we not able to raise revenue to support education? But we have to go and borrow to finance free SHS. The free SHS that we know, the free SHS that was instigated by the erstwhile MPP administration did not resort to borrowing to finance free SHS.
Mr. Speaker, this government has made a choice that it will use the limited resources at its disposal for some other purposes. We were here when the Bank of Ghana reports, and by the way, Minister, you still haven't presented the 2025 accounts of the Bank of Ghana to Parliament. We were here when the Bank of Ghana accounts told us that they have chosen to spend about 16 billion cedis on sterilization. It's there in black and white. We were here when the Bank of Ghana report said that they have elected to spend about 9.6 billion Ghana cedis on gold losses. Mr. Speaker, anytime we raise those ones, they quickly shut us down. It is because they have elected to use the resources for those other purposes. And now you are finding what the IMF wants about, the quasi-fiscal expenses. Look from state-owned enterprise to state-owned enterprises. They are now embarking on quasi-fiscal expenses, spending the money on other things. One giving money to EPA, another giving money to other things. It is that reason for which at the Central Treasury, they can't find resources to pay for some of these priorities, and they've gone back
Ano ahwe no titena ni edema eye abejoku omhwe oman sikasem eso e parliament metre chairman of a parliament finance committee no ono anso esanso emrahye bejeni dima adisha mo Bolgatanga Central no nyamfo Isaac Adongo wabo ensem ne nyina domkuma no epeja edebaaye na wo mo ebobo so nyina wabo ne nyina atu egu akire mu se sika mo kwaje ye no tirimopo ne nyina so nyina ne se emofra ne bi wo ho mbewie eye JHS no wo mo entumi nkonto aso school esanse ahode eni honom anti ana afen so kra no infrastructure ho nsem wo my Ghana mu no ye nyina anim se ne so enkoyie na mpo no ne nyina na nam so a double track yi kra no ekokọ baaye na sanse na emofra no adoso ya emo entumi classes and schools e won entumi en continue mo ntino se dom kuma ne kan se sika mo ekwaje ye no wo mo e de pese de finance free SHS policy ne dia on de nukrabia enimsa ye nkona entie no.
It is important to indicate that there is no loan agreement before this House to finance free SHS. Mr. Speaker, what we are considering is a loan agreement that is meant to improve access to free secondary education, to ensure that we eliminate the double track, provide more opportunities for grade C schools to be upgraded to grade B, and for grade B to be upgraded to grade A. Mr. Speaker, that is the loan that we are considering at this point in time. Mr. Speaker, the loan agreement, as we have seen it, is targeted at strengthening a number of pillars within the educational system in order to enhance access and improve the relevance of secondary education. An amount of 527.7 million of this amount has been allocated to component 1, which focuses on increasing equitable access to secondary education. Mr. Speaker, this is the bulk of the money that is being procured to support education in Ghana. Component 2, which is improving the quality and relevance of secondary education, has been allocated 33.8 million United States dollars. Mr. Speaker, component 3 strengthens systems, communication, and evidence-based decision-making. And Mr. Speaker, 8.5 million has been allocated for this purpose. But Mr. Speaker, the government of Ghana will be providing a $23 million counterpart funding to fully implement this project.
Abusia Ghana Police Ejumaye Kwono and afe the cyber crime unit and the anti-human trafficking unit ya womu nyina na my Ghana emu no womu abwejuma sumbi papa nya semketu achese na nse de womu lusu guard kra ya no womu de operations bi ahyehyehye so womu se joint intelligence ya no womu akwakopie mu ewo kwabenya ya ewo enkran hanom na womu kwan so anachese alatafo mechire Nigerian nationals ya womu wo my Ghana emu no na chese womu afa enkofo bi muma na sese womo di se edwa no ebi ye human trafficking no na omo ekwakochi womo no omo etimi rescue na omo tumi eye victims no baako edu enwochi nipa 18 ena nka womo trafficking womo na asemi nyina no di ewieye no ye ne police sahe ananso se CID boss COP Lydia Yako Donko etwetwe enkomo sanse enchentrofo ekokopi mu ewo ebi na ochirechire mu kwan efa so aya wo mo ekochi wo mo no odi ni nyina eto yenim.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this press briefing. The Ghana Police Service remains committed in its resolve to protect citizens, safeguard property, and uphold the rule of law across the country. Today's briefing covers 4 major operations conducted by the Criminal Investigations Department and the Tema Regional Police Command, bordering on human trafficking and illicit trafficking in firearms. 1. Police arrest 10 suspects for cyber-enabled fraud at Mataheko, Afienya, 9 victims rescued. Police arrest 11 suspects for cybercrime at Fafa community, 6 victims rescued. Police arrest 5 suspects for human trafficking and cybercrime at Kwabenya, 18 victims rescued. And police arrest 2 suspects for illicit trafficking in arms and ammunition in the Ashanti region. Now to the first story, where police arrest 10 suspects for cyber-enabled fraud at Mataheko, Athenia, and 9 victims rescued. The Tema Regional Police Command, through the Regional Police Intelligence Directorate, has arrested 10 suspects in connection with internet-related fraudulent activities at Mataheko, Athenia, Tema, following an intelligence-led operation conducted on 3rd July 2026. The suspects are Collins Francis Olayi Ojo, Matthew Balogun, Jahid Bello, Abdul Rahman Nufizi, Talent Sinivi, Ray Morrison, Lawal Abdul Aziz, David Ogogona, Gift Prince, and Kingsley Honest. They were arrested at an apartment suspected to be used as an operational base for the activities. Preliminary investigations established that Collins Francis Olayi Ojo is the coordinator and leader of the group. He is accused of facilitating the movement of 9 Nigerian nationals from Nigeria to Ghana by road and subjecting them to cyber-enabled fraudulent activities under his direction. The 9 individuals were identified as victims of human trafficking and exploitation and have been rescued and placed at a safe location for further action. A search conducted at the premises led to the retrieval of 28.
Abusia mejira nsem wo so ahome kase ne so ajaboafo enkrato madaruma ye ba ye betwa ensem ne so ede amamu. Abusuya bena mwasi ya kwa jia buafo enkrato madaroma afemetu ansam neso ede amamo. Adishia wamo ewo eye chifo brukuso. Ya no ewo chifo Hemang Lower Dencha District. Ena esuina wedi omuso omusra ban afe omumra shebedwani ena ban krachi ya owo ho se ni manimi ya omusore waka no omunsha emboanfo mu nambesi form na omo ensha de ekwaso ewo ho sanse omo sei enkane assembly member ya e friend Owura Michael Asari ya kirese drain eye channel bia ewo ho me kirese susuan nsuo to ade susuan ensuo ne efa no omo ese wakoto gravel sese abo afili ho nyina ya odi mfidi abegusu aya kirese nani abede pa wo ba be project edi esiso na ene no omo kirese da bi baby nsuo to efe eno akọ block isi nsuo to ahefa ene befa no omo nso ti wei wo mate de nsuo ato edi aye Ghana de hie bi epei ene wo mahu bi nso enti enya ade on betena ase aye hyehan na mpo no ekoduru dia din a ebia na orei kra no no nte ho ebi enti wo mo ene omo ho ebe kire wo mo nti we de aban momode na enimu animi ya on be stop papa no
no kwa yeme me oye me ma me jan no kwa mo bofu ye ma sa me ma no oye obobo man anare ona mbo man na won ka bi man abanyin pen won mrem ta se won ye na wai won na nkasa na ada kuro yi mu na so akopa tie ye bo ho ba ya ni aseme ma mu nyina di ompo e fo se na ba ya nso no entumi nko park ni sibiem yanka bi adwuma kiki fele abed ya obeya dabi so ba kuro mu anyi ma fo ye hia ye di komo san anto yakoma so kom teacher ma mu nyina wa ye nyina ye no ye mu ni sabi se nso be yira fa ya wa fa ya de kakra nti ya sra ba se ya so ye ka oman ne ho nti o mehwe na chi de ekoso wa ha nsuo season bia si a etumi yiri na chese nya asam ketewa we one day your hon mo ayan ka bi hyewu ye ko hwe a omo de cars ni omo mu fa ahweane ade no omo de begu ha omo ye de omo se old asam ma se o person ye project bi wa ha ha so ye nsuo it is almost sense we a masa ya ye we asiri na ye bebre nti ha de ye sra ban omo
eno akire no assembly member ya owo area ho no so Honorable Daniel Fosu enso ye bopene no bisan said the ekosi so we hu anawate na namon ben ene wetu e dia fa no se bo yampa asam ni hyase a wo mo bo na mane a na ono ade ni ko hu bie na no bo modin okobo na nanom amane o wie ye nso no eye relevant authorities ana so se wona ka bie wo mu nyina esese wotumi bo mo amane no wotu sa na mo no so bepim sa bre no wo mo entumi enya entehwe emfa ho to we de aban momodi a na omfa ne nan sim ye hwe oni a hyase anti o hye papa ikutupa ya wo pese otu sa na monwe
madase mokaban na man kase na mini ha nta abra kase ni sidam no mutu anamo kodisa assembly de wo mero mo hwe ho na ani ko fe ne NADMO coordinators de wo mero mo hwe da aso ada o ye bobo man anaro ne mbo man abi to bia ntu hanamo de oba abohwe mo wetu dama asem na ho anamo mo bona na kase so ha mo bona amane nta asem ba na mimpa ko ha na no ato na aba nzira ansan no hwekasa efe last year etu ba ya ma ogbowure dem ndro ho ya government do da me na say yenu aba ko ye exercise member estare ambo no ye
abusuya ya free eye seshi anachifo na afia akopie mu ewo seshi mom na akopie me wo seshi eye apentamadia apentamadi seshi apentem edi na apentamadi ukopie mu wo hono ma na chese eno nso ehye eye seshi eye data so asem o area bobrisha mfancha me yeseshi kro ba ko e friend data no ho na sa kro ehye na de she omo ho so na esuen ni nyina so wo sehwe so municipality omo kire mu se omo akwan wo ho nyina tete apansam enye papa wo ho na important samso ahodo bi so wo ho no ma ya nkeja wo mo eka ne omo efa so ekoba no eno nso a ore bi a yesi wono nso no enua ene wo bu ana otwa enua oye timber contractor wono nso akwa caterpillars ni mfidi aba begu ho ya won nso otwa enua na caterpillar ewunim se ne ya na ne seno sitie ne emuduro enti eno nso krasa se kwan no krasa o masem ede ama wo mo na no ana panyifo se de be won trase enye hwehan ma de enkoso ti wo akasa o mutire ho se be ya yenyi wo mo eyibo ne panyifo enko wo mo emboa na kwa du ene di nkan ene kasa ye ensentrofo ekopiem ho ye nkona yentie ne nsem bia ode tuja ansana adehye binom nso a wo ho so nso kire wo mo adwa no mo so ede ensem ne bi eka ho ye betie wo mo enyina
yabo msi amanye yabo MP nso amanye o se omba be sisi a ntiokra yi a gentimi ntwa breje no nso ni ye breje ni nyina bu ene yete a timba afo aba se omde katepra nti community nso a agina se ye mprima katepra no ense no nti akoye apinnyire nti ama katepra nkura se akọ si ya toilet nso se akina odi enua begu so yanzu community ni ya makwa nti ese from simo na mpanfo acha omumra meboa apentemadi man na kwandata no aba ha no se omuni hu bia yanzu ya makwa ma omumfa katepra no ense bridge no ti de mo kan no pia manie amsi nso woni abo mpanfo ni nyina assembly abo mo manie se yakwa no abu agu ya tapen to media mi fi se abanya da ma ndisi aban ma ya yenya mwo bia wo ha ndisi aban ba na na ye nso ye wotumi and pipi penso na bridge buye ye kan ya obi ama meye ama se ya bo friend say honorable bente amane se ye bridge no and pipi penso na buye omo ba nso obi ameboaye enti wo aba omeboaye wo aba behwe so obeboaye na nsem wo yo ha na buno zabi ba so okotunu ya Caterpillar of Fasuma bridge says ni na bubu. Ama bridge ya abuyi ye nyo obi oba be ya maye. Unim send this for near magu money so amoye. Omonto wa na che say wo de ento. Ama say and then you mre your high kwahwa. Ya hu say Caterpillar bi aba be twenu ya wo apentemadi kuro mu. Ama mpanimfo ni mu bi. Bridge no abubu aka ketu anu on pese Caterpillar no odade die ni bi a wo se kwa no o me se ye kwa na bridge keto no aka no enka ho ne se se yenka ensuo na ti nti oba ya ma no kwa ma na nko ti ne tie ni se ye be se mpanimfo no omwo aban mu amsi ana honorable bente ana yisi mpanimfo no omwo obi ya no ye sre omo so omo mebo apendemadi man na anya sa ana omo di fidie na ba abeja fidie no apentemadi omo kire se kire omo de ntabo beba begu bridge no abu no so afa so ne yesi ye memma ye mehia womo aka ama yenya ho konfen wo ha mwo nipa obo mamane enti a kire mpanimfo na mo ma meboa yen ye bridge ndi yesi abepra ne obo odi soja fo kora ba ene okura no mehye yase ya ebu ye no da so ho to o meboa yen
sesi ye mana ye wo ha ne ye tuto mode ne pia mo ne anka mo ne di kodwa nsuo no ye sanse bridge na abuo ni ntino nsuo no yire a na afa bridge ne so ye ne ma no kura ka akire ho gire di moto na ka mo de atwa ayi na nsan mo de akọ asa na ka so agi kaska nti ye so mo ase mo meye kwan ne ma ye ne ye so ye na gu fam ye so mo papa ye de bridge no ese mo aso mo tunu dadada so mo nye ya kan obi amfi ye ene se ye ko dwa ba ye sei ngofo bi so mo betwa timba wo ha omo ba Caterpillar na se kwan na NC lol kwanso ni bi no mo de abe komode ba be bu agu
enti abusia adehia wo mo ewo seshi apentimedi ya eno ehye seshi data no electoral area ya ewo seshi real so municipality ewo the western north region eho amane na ya no monsini ya wo ho akubila fatao wono tonkra ede emaye ede free western